and had great conversations about how excited we were that Steam was coming to PlayStation. I'm sorry, it
Yes,
was coming to
to
Xbox. They
Xbox.
wish. Man, what a wow. Did I just break some hearts right now?
Listen,
Oh my God.
they
Somebody
all looked
watching
up. They
right
were like,
now
"Yo, what?"
just got a hard on and shit themselves at the same time. I'm sorry I said
They're
that,
so
Ponies.
confused.
I'm sorry I said that. Wow. That was holy shit. Sorry, guys.
Evil.
My bad. We've been talking about how excited we were that Steam is coming to Xbox. Finally, you get a inadvertent confirmation from a leak from an Xbox document. This has been rumored forever. We've known it's been coming. We've heard from them the plans. We heard when Destin asked Phil, is Steam coming to Xbox? He just did a fake ass. Oh, you crazy. And then just kept it moving.
But yes,
But yes, it is. And now it was confirmed, right? It was confirmed. We saw the leak. But the new narrative out there. First of all, fanboys are shook everywhere with this shit, right? Like they're all trembling. They're like, "Oh my God, it's
damage
over.
control now.
Oh my God, it's over." Just calm down. Calm down. Stop crying. This is all good shit. Okay, this is all good news for us. For you, I mean, you're still stuck in that same shit bag of a fucking console land. So
I mean,
I
it
don't
was
know.
a choice, right?
It is. It is. But Steam, the conversation now is that PlayStation will just fucking block it, right? They're going to block PlayStation games from going to Steam, right? But like they can't block it to go to Steam. They're going to block it to go to Xbox, right? But how they're going to, like, there's a fundamental issue there, right? Because Xbox is going to have Windows integrated into the Xbox, console, making it a hybrid PC. So the Windows side of it, why would they tamper with the way Steam and EA and all these other places already recognize Windows, right? So when that loads up onto the Xbox PC, it's going to be loading up on the Windows side of it, which there is no way to go ahead and be like, oh no, that's an Xbox. I'm going to shut it down. That being said, there has been some conversation in these streets about this. So let's see what they're saying, and then we can hop in. Over here, you see we have Jez Corden. So there was a poll that Jez did that said, if the next Xbox supports Steam Epic Game Store, will PlayStation block their PC titles on Microsoft hardware? 61% said yes, 38% said no, right? Jay Duke says no because they cannot do that via Steam. Jess says they very much can. So let's go back. Now, Jez got tired of everybody in the comments saying that they can't. So he says, for those saying PlayStation can't block their games on Steam arbitrarily from an Xbox, quote unquote, Xbox PC, they absolutely 100% can. GeForce Now found this out the hard way. Okay, so one, Jez, unfortunately, that is, even if they can block stuff, right? That there are ways that they can do it, right? But that would be a very difficult thing, but they can, but not the way that you're trying to link it, right? GeForce Now found this out the hard way. No, I was there from day one at GeForce Now. What GeForce Now was doing is just letting people stream the games from Steam and these other places without telling anybody. Stream rights are very different than download rights. You have the right to download your game from Steam or Epic Game Store on any PC you have that is capable of running Steam or Epic Game Store or whatever it is.
And what are we saying about the next Xbox?
It's going to be a PC
Got it.
hybrid,
Okay.
right?
All right.
So
I'm just linking it in case that it's not
exactly.
making sense.
They're not going to have Steam. Steam's not going to make a special Xbox version of Steam.
No.
Epic Game Store is not going to make a special Xbox version of it. They might have the console big picture mode version for Steam or whatever it is, and Xbox might put something together to make it easy to see where all your games come in at, as more of a launcher of these exterior stores. But at the end of the day, it's going to be running on the PC side of it. Steam is not going to be like, hey, this PC over here, you can't download
this particular one. Yeah.
Show me a PC that runs Windows that cannot play Steam games if it has the hardware to do it. Where? Doesn't exist. Now, again, if Microsoft arbitrarily goes ahead and just creates this is an quote unquote Xbox PC and puts like hooks in there to make it where the PC side of Xbox is actually Xbox, like 100%, like easily like
recognizable,
seen,
yeah.
Then
bunch of flags on it.
Yes, they can be like, hey, block this thing, but they can't just block PC.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just block Windows. That's not,
you block one, you block them all, right?
You
so
can't do it. You have to remove the game from Steam.
Yeah.
But and that's what I'm saying. I don't know if YouTube, because I do want to see what some of the other people were saying, but do you have any other kind of take on it, baby girl?
Well, listen, this is what I would say. I know how Phil and the team are operating, and if there were any way to go ahead and block the situation, I'm pretty sure they already have plan B ready to go. Nothing's gonna stop what they're trying to get to. I can only put that on the table. Again, I agree with what you're saying. I also, for those doubters out there, I just think that if this is the goal for them and this is what they're looking to do, it's not going to be stopped. It's going to get figured out.
Here's a fun fact, baby girl. Lynn over here in chat says,
Lynn was good, baby.
Boosteroid already works on Xbox with PlayStation games because it's running off of a virtual machine.
Exactly.
So there is a machine somewhere virtually that exists that's running Steam, and you can work on your Xbox with Boosteroid playing PlayStation games because it's running off an actual, virtual machine. This is already happening. So the idea that this would change with Steam is crazy. What do you think, Frau?
Yeah, I think people want to give Sony too much power in this instance. It's still anything that Xbox does, Xbox is going to be doing the legwork with putting these stores onto their platform. The stores are just the stores. And we're also living in a world that we're speaking hypothetically in where Windows 12 is also out, and we don't know how much Xbox becomes more of a core feature of Windows 12, and how much they can differentiate Windows from Xbox when Windows 12 drops, because Windows 11 integrated Xbox in ways that was much deeper than Windows 10. So we're going to continue to see that more and more.
Agreed.
So we're in this hypothetical world where PlayStation is just like, oh, we can block this specific MAC address because it automatically identifies that it's a Xbox. I'm guessing, because I mean, are you blocking it at the? You're not going to be able to block it at the OS level if Xbox is integrated into Windows. I would imagine that this hybrid PC type situation is going to be a situation where Xbox is natively built into the kernel of Windows. Therefore, whenever you develop a game for PC, you're automatically developing the game for Xbox. That would be
thank you, baby.
Yeah, bless you.
Thank you.
I would assume that that's the direction that they're going. That way these these people can't say the hardware is holding us back, or there's something regarding Xbox as a reason that we can't put the game on this platform. I think they're just gonna build Xbox natively into Windows now, so that that excuse is 100% removed. If you develop for PC, you're automatically developing for Xbox.
Agreed. So this is the thing. I could tell you why PlayStation is not going to attempt to do this. Okay, very easily. Their need for their games reaching more people is inevitable, right? It's just there. It has to happen. They need to figure it out. And one of the scariest things for them and these ponies is for PlayStation to come out and say, "Hey, we're releasing our game on an Xbox."
Yeah.
Okay, that's the scary thing for them to do. And then they would also have to contend that they would be putting a game over there, and Xbox will be making 30% off of their game, right? So they would have to put it in the Xbox store, and then they would also be funding Xbox further, right? Which we know we're doing on PlayStation. Good for them, they need it, right? But this scenario sidesteps that entire situation for them. This scenario allows PlayStation to have PlayStation games available to Xbox owners to purchase without, number one, having to give Xbox a cut, because if they buy it on Steam, that'll be through Steam. So Xbox wouldn't get that cut unless Xbox works something out with Steam. And then two, they avoid the media backlash. They avoid having to put a statement out that says, "Hey, we're bringing such and such game to Xbox." That's all avoided. They don't have to do any of it. Now they look like heroes for keeping their stance of, no, we're putting our games on PlayStation, PC, maybe the Switch, right? We're not doing anything on Xbox. All the while, the games are available on Xbox because Steam is there, right? So they walk away like, "Hey,
we didn't bend the knee.
We didn't do nothing. Our game's on Steam. I can't control where Steam is," right? Like, they get to do that and walk away, and they get the benefit of more sales from anybody who would go ahead and purchase their games and play them on the next Xbox.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think that makes sense, or do you think no? That you think that they like?
I
Is this
think
like
it
a
makes
blessing in disguise? You know what I'm saying for them?
I think it makes perfect sense, because right now PlayStation doesn't know who their customer is as far as their first party is concerned. They're trying to figure out, where are the people who want to buy the type of games that we're making? Like, where are they? And the more places that they put their game, the more they'll be able to find that out. I mean, hopefully they do find that out, because if they don't, like I said, they're only going to be a store at some point. At some point, they're going to have to get rid of those first parties if they can't sell any games to anybody. And it seems like if it's not a borrowed IP at the moment, it's not really selling over there.
Facts.
I think this is a blessing for them. I think this is a situation where they don't have to put any extra efforts as well to go ahead and port the games to Xbox, and they can just rip the benefits of whatever Xbox has invested in, right? It's just going to be a way of reaching new freaking gamers, and potentially gamers that may have some type of interest in their game, in their games. I dropped the S. Pardon me, PlayStation, the
That's
disrespect.
Pardon me.
But listen, this is the thing. They don't take the risk also of porting the game and finding out that no one wants their games, right? If the game is there and it's available on Xbox, right, through Steam, and no one buys it, or just a freaking handful of people show up, it's like, okay, we didn't really try to do this, so it doesn't really matter to us. It's a pony ass move, right?
Yes.
Where if they benefit from it, great. If they don't, they weren't even trying, right? So it's not even what we were trying to do. The fact that these gallopers are out here saying that PlayStation is going to stop this, what? Just like they stopped the ABK deal? Is that how they're going to stop this situation?
Mm,
I don't think so. I
damn.
think there's a will,
Damn. That one
there's
cut
a
deep.
way, and if this is what Phil wants, there's no better way for them. Like you said, CMoney, without them cutting a 30% to freaking Xbox, this is a nice and clean situation. Whereas if they find a way to do it in a more messy way, this can get more complicated. So I say take the easy way in.
Agreed. Yeah, I just feel like it's too much of it's an easy layup
Mm-hmm.
for PlayStation to get away with doing this without it being a problem. And then over time, they can just go full in and put the games on Xbox because people will already be used to the idea that you can get Xbox games. I mean, PlayStation games on Steam
Yep.
via that Xbox, right? So eventually they'll just go full in and make it easier there too for people to buy it.
Honestly, who's to say this conversation wasn't had, right? Again, Hiroki came out here. He said what he said. He knows that this is what's gonna happen, right? This is what he said. Our games are going everywhere, right? Where there's computing, and we knew that this was gonna end up on freaking Xbox one way or
Yeah.
another. For all we know, Hiroki was like, yeah, this is the way that we're willing to do it. And if you go ahead and figure it out with Steam, this is the way it's going to happen.
Yeah, and I guess the only
Agreed.
concern that PlayStation will have is that Xbox becomes the box that everyone always dreamed of, where it's the box to rule them all. I can literally play any game I want, on this box. And the only thing I
That's
guess
the box that the go ahead. Sorry.
the
Go ahead.
the only thing that would be missing is the Nintendo games. But yeah,
How do we
Yeah,
get those?
But I think that that's like the dream of every like core gamer,
Hmm.
yeah,
right? Like most people don't even know about these small these games, like unless they're on TV or in like the radio, like in places that people know, like Call of Duty, like FIFA, like these big huge games, like that's what people for the most part think about video games. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, for
Like
sure.
all these weird name games that nobody ever fucking heard of, like they're not the casual, the vast majority of people won't even look twice at this, bro. That's why it's yes, Xbox I think has a great chance of winning over the core audience.
Yeah,
Because you truly get everything that you could ever want, because there are PC games that for all intents and purposes would just be console games, but because of lack of money or lack of success, they weren't able to bring their game to a console. So it's going to be a fucking gold mine for core Xbox gamers to go, and every time there's a Steam Fest or a fucking one of the winter deals or fall deals, all this shit, you could buy so many games for so cheap. You're gonna be able to play so much shit, dude. Like it's
yeah.
gonna be fucking amazing. But it's for the core people. Casuals are not even gonna know, man. That's why this works so good for PlayStation. If they never have to even say Xbox, but their
I
games are
think
playable on Xbox. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think casuals will find out because the mixing of stores means that you get to get a lot of games at cheaper prices. It's going to be a lot more. The
Mhm.
marketplace is going to be a lot more competitive. So I
Mhm.
think even
It has to be
casual
marketed that
gamers.
way. Like they're not gonna
I
find
think
out just
casual
because it
gamers will talk to
exists.
other game. I think casual gamers will talk to other gamers and be like, "Man, it's $70 no matter what on the PlayStation Store. PlayStation Store never changes their prices. I picked up NBA 2K on Steam this year. I didn't get it on Xbox or what it called. They had a deal on Epic where it was $20 this year, so I got it on Epic for 20. I think those conversations will be had, and I think you'll get some of the casual audience just based off because everyone's looking to save a buck along the way. So I think when
Agreed.
that becomes a conversation, I think that's where you get the casual audience. when you
I
mix
just
in
feel
all
like
these
that
stores.
conversation can technically already be had in a smaller scale, obviously, but like with Game Pass, right?
Mhm.
Like if it's about, you know, the most bang for your buck, Game Pass is
Yeah,
already that. You know what I'm saying? So like if they were gonna have the conversation and Game Pass is out there, right? Like it is promoted, and has been promoted with games like Call of Duty and Starfield and all that shit. And yeah, they had huge upticks when those games dropped. But still, people rather just stick with what they know than get a deal.
yeah. Also, but then
I mean,
also people want to own their games also, so that's
That
also a thing.
too
Yeah,
is another thing for sure.
yeah, own their games or just wait till they're on sale to buy them. There's some people that just want, and listen, with Forza, some gallopers were asking for the physical copy. Some people are still just wanting to get physical copies of games and feel like they can go ahead, grab it and trade it in if they want to, and then go ahead and add the difference to buy something new. And have more value for their money, I guess. Because when you do have the games, you get to sell them. It's just options, right? And that's what Xbox at the end of the day is trying to provide. And you can't go wrong with adding options. You
Agreed.
can't.
Agreed 100%. I saw the homie Grunge Head.
Grunge
What's
was
up, man?
good.
Thank you for being here. Says, I won a PlayStation 5 recently, and there are so many features missing that I
Nice.
never knew Xbox only had. Quick resume, upscaling every old game, being able to play 360 games. Sony is so greedy.
Mhm.
But you have to buy the remaster.
Yep.
It's
That's
true.
crazy.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's funny because Xbox is already very PC like, right?
Mhm.
Because that's what happens if you buy a new graphics card and you play an old game, your old game looks better
Yep.
because you can,
Yeah.
you could play it maxed out and you can do that stuff. So, you're right. Like Xbox has tons of features that just Xbox has that is ahead of the competition, and yet still, right? Still, the majority of people buy PlayStations, right? Which is always going to be the reason why Xbox has more core gamers than PlayStation does, right? Because the people who are on Xbox, it's a choice, right? They very specifically want the stuff that Xbox has, right? And
Yeah.
that's a big deal, right? It's like there's a lot more people driving like Hondas versus Mercedes, right? But the people who buy a Mercedes, they tend to spend more money, right? Because they are obviously
That's what they want.
looking to spend
It's a
Yeah.
choice,
something
right?
more for
Rather,
something they could do.
yeah. It's like, knowing Nintendo, growing up with that, and then obviously PlayStation came out first, so that was like the next, console to kind of go ahead and move forward with and play more grown games, right? So to go ahead and identify Xbox and say, okay, look at this game is Halo is there, Gears is there, Forza, like you are choosing to go ahead and kind of take that path rather than to follow the pattern that was laid out for you.
Facts.
So
Agreed.
I see exactly what you're saying.
Let me get the homie Ricardo
Get
Mancada.
it,
Mancada,
Ricardo.
what's good, man? What's going on, man? Thank
What's
you for that
good?
$2 super chat. Says knowing
Thank you.
Sony, they'll have spyware on their games. Oh my god.
And probably.
People are gonna not want to download their shit. I feel that, man. The homie Razor Ultra in the
Razor
building.
Ultra
My
was
dude, thank
good.
you both for being here. Thank you for the $5 super chat.
Thank
Says
you.
Steam doesn't automatically determine your PC specs. It does a monthly survey to collect data about hardware usage, which is optional and anonymous. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not going, like, this is not what these fucking ponies think is going to happen, dude.
No, and listen, again, we know that, we talk about Phil scooping up Steam, right? So they're buddies. We know that. We know that. So I feel like it's not going to be a situation that is going to get messy.
Like, it's not in their favor.
Mm-mm.
Like, Steam is not like,
Yeah,
oh
they
yeah, we
want
need
this
to
to
happen.
happen.
First of all, if you think about like value, right? Well, on the console side, it's easy for PlayStation to be like, hey, company, make sure you put your game over here because look at how many people we have, right? But to Steam, it's the opposite. It's how many games can you deliver to me on my platform?
Mm-hmm.
And compared to PlayStation, Xbox is fucking delivering nonstop new games to Steam versus PlayStation doing what? Taking old garbage shit and putting it over there and Steam watching that shit fail
Yeah.
because nobody
Yeah.
gives
It's
a
it's a
shit.
whole different situation.
And
And
the ports
you
are so
know,
hit and miss.
and dude,
Facts.
I know that this whole kumbaya thing that loves to be sold out there with like everything's nice and chill and it doesn't matter. The cutthroat situation that they're willing to do this just to stick it to PlayStation and kind of present it in a way possibly to freaking the Steam, like, listen, this is just a way for you to go ahead and capitalize and make more money off of something you already have available there. Like, yo, cutthroat
I mean,
indeed.
it's not just, you know, kicking it to PlayStation. It's kicking it to all those Easter developers who have been hesitant to put their games on Xbox. So,
Yep. But they put
Or
them on
the ones,
Steam.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
They put
but
them on
they
Steam.
put them on Steam, but
exactly.
they won't put them on Xbox. You know, like
Or the ones that like to take the deals.
yeah, like
I'm
what's
telling
the
you,
what's the people that made the monkey game?
Black Myth Wukong,
Mhm.
Yeah, Black Myth
Game
or
Science or whatever.
yeah, or you know, like a Stellar Blade who took a deal, or you know,
Dude,
like a game like
yo,
Trails in the Sky, or the Trail series that hasn't made it over to Xbox, or the YS series that hasn't made it over. There's a bunch of Japanese
We
and
don't like exclusives. We only do it because the competition does it.
yep. So
And if the competition doesn't want to stop that shit, we're gonna stop it for them.
that's literally the like fucking 5D chess that's happening
Mhm.
here.
yeah,
Because they literally are circumventing every possible scenario by saying, how do I make sure that somebody who buys my console, right, slash PC hybrid, right, how can I make sure they no longer are in a scenario where they're games that are arbitrarily missing the box? You take Steam. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
take Steam, you put it on your box. You take all the other storefronts, you put it on your box.
mm-hmm.
That's a gift to Xbox gamers.
Absolutely.
If they figure out a way to make money from Steam or these other places, great. I mean, they should, right? They
Mhm.
should do
Mhm.
that. But at the end of the day, if they don't make a fucking penny and they're just doing that as a service to us Xbox fans who are core gamers who are going to buy that next box, what a fucking, like, come on, man. That's
Yeah.
fire, dude. That's fire for Microsoft to be like, yo, I don't give a fuck. I want my players to have access to every fucking game that's out there, whether we sell it or not.
Yeah.
That is some fucking dope ass shit. That's some shit that these ponies don't understand because pony don't get nothing handed to them. They ain't no subscription you can have that they're gonna hand you the next new game out of PlayStation's camp.
No.
It's not happening.
No.
Unless it's a dumpster fire of a game that's so bad, they're like, oh shit, we got to put this shit in PlayStation Plus.
They
'cause
wouldn't
nobody's
even
gonna
give out
fucking play it."
Concord, dude.
They
Come
really
on,
wouldn't.
man.
And they should have tried Concord inside of PlayStation Plus before they dumped it.
Bro, they knew nobody was gonna show up to that
Mm-mm.
dance. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You're just embarrassing yourself more. And at that time, I think they were hoping that they were gonna try to figure out some other way. And I don't think that was
Successful.
there's no way.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way. There was no hope. You know how there's no hope in dope? Same thing. Okay. Same shit. Same shit. You got the homie Jake HH. What's up, my dude? Thank you
Yo,
for
what's
being here,
good,
man.
Jake?
Thank you for that $5 super chat.
Thank
Says,
you.
the series consoles can play Sony games already unblocked. I can, on my Xbox Series X, play more Sony games than a Sony guy can on his own PlayStation. That's
Damn.
facts, Jake HH, because if you go ahead and put your shit in dev mode, you can play all that shit. You can
Yep.
get all the PlayStation games of all of history and play that shit on your Xbox. I wish there was just a button that I can press to make that happen where I could just do it and not have to figure out how to put everything on there.
That button will be too much work.
That'd be way
You'll
too
be
much
like,
energy.
you know what?
I remember back in the day
About
when
to
that
say you
first
can't get
Xbox
the
was
button
out.
working on a Steam Deck.
Ooh, that's possible.
Now, I said you can't get the button working on your Steam Deck.
Oh, you can't.
No, you can't. We still can't hear the damn sounds.
Oh, the Stream Deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Let me see. Did you hear that?
I didn't
Nope.
hear it.
No.
Mm.
Well,
All right, get back to us,
listen,
Steve.
I tried. I tried. That's wild.
Mhm,
That's wild right
mhm.
there. But at the end of the
Take
day,
a
if
moment,
you can
Steve.
make it nice and easy, just do that. That would be great. Like I remember back in the day when the original Xbox, because of the hard drive, you can take it somewhere and they would put like a shit ton of games. Like it's like I forgot how you do it. You get it chipped or something. I don't remember, but I remember you take that shit to the hood and you go ahead, you give
Yeah.
them some money, and they fucking give you like your shit is just
When they put the
loaded
chip
with
in
a
your
bunch of fucking
system?
games.
Yeah.
Yep. But it's like even that I didn't do because I didn't trust that shit. You know what I'm saying? But all my cousins had it. It was like motherfuckers. But that
Yeah.
it has to be something easy. You know what I'm saying? I just want it that way.
Yeah.
Let me press a button and I have everything. Dope. But yeah, you're right. It already has that ability. And PlayStation can't stop that shit. The homie Ice Reaper Frost. What's up, man?
Yo.
Thank you for being here, bro.
Happy
Appreciate
Tuesday.
you, fam.
Thank you for rocking
Says
out.
Jez got it wrong. GeForce has to use an API. For Sony to block, they would have to block all Windows PCs.
Mm.
Exactly. They would have to be a specific API that Xbox were to put as a tag. Like, here, Sony, come fucking block us. Okay, that literally Phil has to design.
Wave them down.
Has to design it with the fucking feature there to be blocked. Like Xbox is the one who would give Sony the key to do that.
Sony, we still don't know how to get in.
Exactly.
We still don't know.
Sony still won't fucking open the door.
I got this key.
So
I see. Can't go.
You know, not to attack Jez, but do you really think the smart people at Microsoft would make the claim that they're going to have the greatest technical leap ever,
Yep.
but then have themselves able to simply be blocked by PlayStation?
That's the thing, man. It's crazy.
That's real wild.
It's crazy. And it's the fact that a lot of people come out here acting as if they know better. They know the way, right? Like, stop what you're doing. Hold up. This is not it. I mean, it blows my mind.
Like Xbox may make some error along the way in their development of this next console, but I don't think that would be one of the errors. Like, I think if they want PlayStation games on there from Steam, they've already thought several layers deep into what PlayStation could do to counter that, and they probably already have countermeasures in place, you know, if there were anything that they could do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would imagine as much for sure. I see the homie I'm the Crow 76. What's up, man? Thank you for
What's
being
up,
here.
love?
Says, I just thought about this. On the next Xbox, they should put battle.net on it and get WoW on console. So that's the whole point, right? There's a lot of shit stuck on PC land,
Mhm.
right? WoW is fucking huge. First of all, battle.net will almost certainly run on the next Xbox.
The next console, yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
WoW is going to be one of the first games that are going to be there. Right. Obviously, all this stuff hinges on the fact that you're going to have to get a keyboard and mouse for some of these games that are not going to be, you know, they just don't work with gamepad. Right. There's a lot of games on Steam that don't work on a gamepad. But once you have that, you're fucking in. WoW, all that shit is now going to be able Counter-Strike. You know, all these games that are out there, Valorant. Well, Valorant's here, right? No. What's the other one? Steam has this other fucking card game. What is it called?
Not Balatro, because that's on console now too.
No.
That
I
one's
think there's
on
like
console.
Hearthstone. I don't know if that's on console, but they have another one. I don't know. One of the they have a lot of fucking PC games, bro. They're out there. There. And now you have them, they'll have access. You can find them, you can play them, and you'll be able to do that right on your console. Like, it's just the truth. Smart 661 in the building. What's up, my dude? Thank you for being here, my brother. Says PlayStation supposedly doesn't believe in generations. That's why they make you pay for 3 to 5 year old remasters and let you play ancient PS games. Facts. It's some clown shit.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? It's some clown shit. let me get the the homie Raiden Blade in the building. What's up, my dude? Thank you for
Raiden
being
Blade
here, man.
was
It says
good.
SIE blocks Xbox, Steam blocks SIE, SIE loses Xbox. It's a vicious circle, bro. It's a vicious circle right there. It's just the reality. It's not a good look for them. It's not a good look for them. They don't want to lose that shit for sure. League of Legends. Oh shit, League of Legends. That fucking crack pipe for these players to be able to play it on Xbox. They would die. Dota was the one I was thinking about.
Oh yeah,
Force
Dota.
One is out here dropping bars. Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. There's a lot too. Yeah, Lynn said League of Legends as well. Dude, that's a big deal, man. It's a big deal. All right, but let's see. There's some other people talking about this. It wasn't just us. So, yeah, Boom out here saying, as much as you are always on the pulse of anything gaming, this is totally different. Jez, Steam sells developers and publishers games, but they are the rules that must be followed. How could PlayStation pick and choose who use the games they purchase and use their hardware as a parameter of blocking said customer from using a purchased title because it has Xbox integration? Steam would then choose not to sell the PlayStation games. Look what happened with Helldivers 2, RE, the PSN sign-in. Jez Corden just says, nah, that's wild. That's wild. John Clark from Xbox Era says, Jez, mate, love ya, but these aren't remotely the same thing, let alone the same ballpark. Actually, they're totally, oh shit, what'd I do? Oops. Actually, they're totally and completely the same thing. We'll have to agree to disagree. You got Paris over here. Says GFN, GeForce Now was about licensing, and they aren't the only publisher blocking games from the service. In my opinion, it's doubtful PlayStation blocks their games via Steam, and to be honest, even if they can, is it worth the effort? I think a lot depends on how Xbox will integrate Steam into their UI versus allowing a desktop mode that launches a third-party digital store. We're 2.5 years away from knowing either way, so for now, not even worth being concerned or debating on speculation. 2.5 years.
I mean, I guess
time.
He's saying that, you know, the console will release holiday 2027. So that'd be like 2 years and 6 months about. Yeah.
So he thinks 20. I really don't think 27.
Yeah, I think 2026.
I think 26. I guess we'll find out at the end of 26 if we're right. But I really feel Jez says, I know for a fact PlayStation can do this if they feel inclined. So keep expectations in check is my only message. I don't care if it's 2 years out. I'm still going to comment on the future because it's my job. Sorry. Okay. So listen, you know for a fact if, and the answer is simply if and only if Xbox allows it. If Xbox puts an arbitrary, like, hey, look at us, this PC is actually an Xbox, they can grab it.
Freaking going to do that would just be ridiculous.
Yeah,
and listen, I'm all for speculating, but like when you have everyone telling you one thing,
he's like, I swear to God,
I swear,
he's
fucking everybody in here.
He's speaking as if he has knowledge of what the next operating system on the next Xbox is going to look like. And if it just looks like Windows 12, then there's no way to block it. You know, so I mean, it's too much speculation going on. Like you're speculating based on what exactly? So
like we're talking Xbox,
but he's always been a pessimist.
So
though.
like,
so you got to
like,
kind of understand that Jez is always a glass half full or glass half empty, glass half empty type person.
Thanks. Tom Warren even jumped in and said GFN was about how games were distributed without consulting publishers. That wasn't anything to do with Valve, and I doubt the Steam publishing agreement even allows you to block specific Windows devices. Exactly. So if they were going to go ahead and do a like, hey, Steam is now streaming some of these games to their cloud, right? They would need new agreements for their cloud streaming, the same way Xbox had to do it, right? Xbox couldn't just unilaterally say, hey, every Xbox game is going to be streamable via the cloud
Mhm.
because that's not part of the deal. They can do that via remote play because it's even that is like, no, the game is on my Xbox. I'm accessing my Xbox. That's very different than accessing a server in the sky that has your game loaded up there and 50 million people can trigger it or whatever it is. Very different situation. We're just not talking about the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where he's confused with it. Again, very possible if if you went ahead and had Xbox essentially make it possible. That's the only version of this that becomes a thing.
I mean, it's not necessarily confusion. Sometimes it's just, the way they want to put things out there. So,
Agreed. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, when
plenty of people explained. You know what I'm saying?
seriously though,
Like,
Emac says Jez is pabbing. Oh shit, that's hilarious. That's pretty funny. I mean, look, again, nobody's faulting him for putting this out there or believing that he knows. Again, he is absolutely right that it 100% can happen if Xbox allows it to identify as an Xbox that can easily be blocked.
Okay.
Yes.
Noted.
But
Noted.
outside of that,
what
that
are the
doesn't exist.
chances
Very
of
little.
Xbox
Especially-
saying, let's go ahead? Obviously, when you see a situation like this taking place, is with purpose. And I think that will defeat the purpose.
Agreed. Lynn has a great question. Why can't they block Boosteroid?
Exactly.
Interesting. Lynn, you should ask him. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't make any sense. Right? And Spartan, this is what I was saying earlier, 100%. If you really think about it, this means PlayStation doesn't have to waste resources to make an Xbox version of their game. They make the PS version and PC port because they are poor. Xbox won't do this one. Wow, that was beautiful. That was hilarious. But that's what it is, right? That's what it is. They're literally, there's too many positives for PlayStation. Like, first of all, they don't release enough games for it to even matter. Can you imagine them risking their entire Steam agreement because they're trying to block the one fucking game they're going to release this year from going to a small subset of people who buy the fucking Xbox, the next Xbox? Like, are you kidding me?
We're gonna block the 5 people who bought Until Dawn remake.
Okay, but now let me ask you a question. Is there a possibility that they could take this deal and backport it to older consoles?
Oh, I don't know.
Like, can the Series X eventually do it? Because if you remember, there was rumors leading up to the Series X, very real rumors that the Xbox was supposed to be a PC hybrid. This one that we have.
Yeah.
Leading up to it, was supposed to have it, and Steam was supposed to be a part of it. These were rumors that we had before this Xbox launch. So this is something that they've been working on
for a while. Yeah. That's possible, see.
Backwards and forwards compatibility talk. I mean, possibly. I wouldn't put it out of the realm. And then like we said, we're living in this Windows 12 world that's going to be along with this new Xbox, where Xbox is supposed to be more of a core feature of the service. And if that kind of ends up, I mean, you refresh the Xbox Series operating system to allow it, yeah, I can see it being possible.
I think this console, the X was made with the next console is in mind. I think that there is tech in there that hasn't even been, put to use because it's going to kick in once the next console releases. So I think we're gonna have more available on the X than we thought would be possible once we untap the next console.
Yeah, like the hardware,
Hmm.
ray tracing chip, the machine learning that's in the Xbox
Exactly.
Series. A lot of that hasn't been used, so once it does,
Exactly.
it'll extend the life of the console probably a couple more
What's
years
that
for sure.
velocity
Velocity
architecture
architecture, yeah.
that hasn't really been used? There's so much, man. There's so much. And I agree, baby girl. I think that that's 100% true. I think that when the next gen comes out, you're going to see more people. Like, I gave more credit to the PlayStation 5 Pro. I thought that the Pro would kind of make it so that more developers are using the extra power, so they would turn around and use those same things on the Xbox. But the Pro ain't powerful enough to do shit, so really didn't change much anything um, for the developers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah. So yeah, I mean, like I said, you saw a bunch of people. They were all in here. They were all going on this idea about PlayStation and their ability to block this again under very specific circumstances. Yes, it can happen, but it's Xbox's circumstance. They're the ones who create that circumstance. So
I
it's
agree.
very
And I think
arguable.
Hiroki Tobroki, he is not trying to go ahead and stop this in any way. If
Facts.
anything, this is a dream come true. Like, okay, here we go. Now we're available in more places. Maybe people can go ahead and scoop up these games that these developers aren't buying or showing up for or supporting in any way. Where is our audience? Where can we find people that can connect with the crap we're making? And is there hope left to making any games going forward?
Facts.
Right? Because this is also like, you said these developers rather see PlayStation die than to have something like this take place. And it's like, this is going to allow them to see, as of right now, I'm not sure it's worth for them to go ahead and make any freaking games moving forward. The support is not there. The money's going now, it's not coming back in. Even when they're making these smaller experiences, which they said that we're going to focus on, those smaller experiences are also not selling like they would want them to. Putting the game on the Switch, like Lego Horizon, is not going ahead and popping off the way that they would want it to. So, what is it that they need in order to move forward? The remasters, like Shuhei said, they need to sell in order for them to go ahead and move forward and make another game. Developers are sick of the remasters. I get it. They should stop championing this situation from taking place. But it is their lifeline right now. Um, and again, the money's just not coming in. Not in a way that they can go ahead, sit back and spend it comfortably, in a way that they can say, if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, we just made a great game that we were excited to show the world, right? They're not there. They need to figure out what they think can structurally go ahead and be a hit.
Agreed.
And I'm not sure they have that formula either. You can spell it out for them and they'll find a way to fuck it up. So I think this is best case scenario.
I mean, it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the reality of what it is. And sadly, they're going to keep living in this little bubble in their mind where they're just begging for their prayers to be answered again. To say, hey, please stop this somehow. Again, I said it before, but it's just the truth. Like, they don't realize how irrelevant their games are to most people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're literally not, like, we're talking about this because it's in the news, right? People are talking shit about this. People are praying that this is true and PlayStation can block and blah 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 blah. And it's like, that's the only reason, because outside of that, we're just fucking amped for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just pure excitement for us to be able to have these options when we buy our games. You know what I'm saying? Being able to play your games where you want. I mean, look, there's a lot of factors that are going to come into whether I buy a game on Steam or on Xbox, right? What's the price for one? And then it's like, well, how much of a difference is the price? Is it better for me to buy it on Xbox and get it on my cloud streaming and all this other shit? Like, there's a lot of fucking, there's going to be a lot of choices. Not as big of a slam dunk, but what it does do is not so much about the games that come out both places. It's about the games that are not. The games that are only on Steam, right? Which we know thousands and thousands of games are only on Steam. And to be able to go ahead and do that, whole new markets, there's like not that we fuck with them, but like visual novels and shit like that. There's whole different genres of games that exist only on Steam that, you know, again, if you felt the desire to do it, right, and check out these things, you can, right? It changes everything.
So beneficial to the developers as well, right? That can go ahead and they can't make the version for the consoles right away, for it to be just a seamless situation where people can go ahead and also buy it, and it's available on the Xbox console. It's a big deal. When you don't have to add that to the list of things that you're going to go ahead and have to deal with as a developer.
Agreed. Over here, you got the homie G Maybe.
G Maybe was good
for being here, man. Says the PlayStation facade is broken.
Yeah.
Exclusivity was their whole lure. It's a vanity move to block their games on Xbox. This move would only hurt them further.
Yep.
Agreed.
100%.
This is literally a silent win for them, right? They literally get to celebrate, pop bottles in the background, like, yes, we finally have our games on Xbox and we don't have to expose ourselves.
They don't have to do anything about it, right? They don't have anything, no more work or investment money put out there for them to go ahead and do this.
They would make more news if they tried to block versus just letting that shit just fly. You know what I'm saying? Like without making a goddamn peep about it, people won't even know what's happening. But if they do make peep, all they're going to do is expose themselves and bring the feature out more.
I mean, this is why they haven't gone ahead and kind of, even though the games are selling there and being wishlisted, they haven't made a big deal about, you know, these games being put on their platform from Xbox. So.
Agreed.
And that's a big W for them to go ahead and kind of hype people up even more.
100%.
So we'll see.